Hello, welcome to the Rocky Sports Talk Sheet. Um, we are in Game 6 right now, and the Lakers are not doing good. They are getting ready to be eliminated uh, from the NBA playoffs in the first round by the Phoenix Suns, and rightfully so, to be honest. They There's just no healthy AD, and there's just no chance. And I'm okay with that.
Oh my gosh, I almost fucking got y'all.
To be truthfully honest, I'm very much okay with that. We know AD, his whole career in the NBA is he's been injured after injured after injured. You have a minute and 30 left, and they are down by 16, so it is over for the Lakers. Honestly, I can't wait to hear LeBron James' excuses because we know he's going to have plenty of them. We have 37 seconds, it looks like.
Back, boys.
Um, but honestly, I don't really want to hear nothing from LeBron after what he did in Game 5 for my team, the Lakers, where he walked out with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 6 minutes left in the game, and left his team out there on the court and went in the locker room. And no leader in any sports should ever do that. He abandoned ship in Game 5, guys. He abandoned ship. Now, a lot of people ain't calling him out on this, and I think it's, I'm about to play a clip for you guys, because we're going to be talking a lot more stuff other than LeBron James and the Lakers getting eliminated in the first round. That's just a small story, honestly. As a Lakers fan, I would rather us lose and not try to put a season-ending surgery on a groin on AD when he doesn't have to do that. He's a big guy. He has a messed up groin right now. He has a hurt groin. It ain't gonna heal in a week, people. I mean, what do you really want? I wouldn't want to risk a hernia. If anybody knows what a sports hernia is, I'll tell you what, it definitely takes a lot longer than a week to heal. Because that's what could have happened. Could have really, really damaged his groin. So I wouldn't have played him. I wouldn't have done anything. I just would have waited till next season. It was a shortened season. After you already won the championship last year. It's okay not to repeat. It's okay. Towards the end of the regular season, you all were not healthy. It's understandable. Okay? Okay, LeBron? You have an out here. You could easily say me and AD weren't healthy, and so the team didn't go. You have your excuse already lined up on Front Street. But what you don't have an excuse for is abandoning your team halfway through the fourth quarter and going to the locker room and calling it a night. For that, LeBron, you're a bitch. I am tired of everybody the league catering to his ass just because his name is Queen James, in my opinion. I've been calling him Queen James before he even came to my fucking Lakers.
Oh, he's inside.
All he does is complain about shit.
He's 49.
That's all he does. He complains. He'll have two, three good players, and he'll always want more. He never wants to compete for a fucking title. He wants to buy a title. I've never respected LeBron James. To me, he has hustled the league. Hustily took over the NBA. He's even got the commissioner of the NBA on speed dial to do his bidding. So, yeah. Yeah, okay. We have. You know what? I'm not going to hide that. I'm not even going to report it. We'll show it. Show that. I don't care. Like I said, hey, people can voice their opinion on my show. You're welcome to voice your opinion there, Bullet Club. Nope.
You have to, hey, read by.
Okay. I don't like what he called me, but it's cool because we're about to get on some other shit here. We're about to get on some other shit that needs to be handled. Okay? Now, he said he's injured. Yeah. Okay. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it one bit. Everybody remembers his agent for like a week or two before he even came back. He's coming back this game. You also had the Lakers. He is looking fantastic in practice.
Only got 90.
They were his movement, everything. There were so many reports, and he waited his time. Like he does whatever he wants. You all cannot sugarcoat it. You can't just sugarcoat it. Now, AD, it is what it is. I know you're pumped. I'm pumped too as a Lakers fan. But in my opinion, you might have a different opinion. He didn't. You all realize, like Game 5, he didn't go get checked for no injury or nothing. Whenever he left, I hope y'all know that. Like, he didn't. He checked out on his team, man. I mean, go look at the reports. It's fine. Like I say, at least on here, I don't care what you say. You can say whatever wording y'all want in here, and I appreciate the sorry from you. Yeah, you're forgiven, dude. It's no worry, man. That does, dude. I've been called worse. So, like I say, on my channel, you're allowed to voice your opinion, however you see fit, but you can't say like racial slurs or nothing like that. That's where I draw a line. But anything outside of that, I don't give a shit. But can we not tell that he checked out after Game 5? Can we not tell? Like, LeBron, dude, Game 5, I actually thought that we had a chance because he came out, boom, ain't nothing. LeBron was like, oh, I looked at it, I was like, okay, maybe LeBron's going to take over today. And then he was quiet until he had a big third quarter. And that was it. That was it. He had 0 free throws in Game 5. You know why? Because I've seen him drive maybe 3 times that whole game. 3 times. So, yeah. But also, why I say that we're going to be getting into a bigger story, I'm about to show you a video. And on my channel, I talk about how ESPN and a lot of these outlets are ruining this Black Lives Matter movement. And they're actually really, really, really hurting it. If y'all go, man, like I said, I'll just give you one show, and you all would understand my beef here. And like I said, I want people to know, yes, I'm white. I'm not African American. I'm white. I grew up in the projects. I want you all to know that. Give you a little bit of my background. I grew up in the projects. I grew up in the rough life. I grew up around a rough crowd. And I also lived there a little bit in one of the worst parts of Louisville, Kentucky. So, yeah, what I'm about to say, I kind of lived in it. You can kind of say that. But and it's cool because some of the stuff that I talk about, I talk to my best friend who's African American. We actually were teammates. I think At 10th grade, I moved back to New Albany from Louisville, but in my ninth grade, we were teammates on whenever we played basketball and stuff and did sports at our school. Went to the same school there at Iroquois High School. So, yeah, Stephen A. Smith has ruined talk shows. And the rant that he went on yesterday was beyond uncomfortable to watch and beyond race baiting. I am tired of this race stuff being involved in sports. Let me just say this one time. It's sports, people. It's a sports show, not a race show. I don't understand why they're having so many issues with this with athletes. What is Stephen A's problem? You have a problem with coaches in the NBA. Okay. Look at how many African American athletes are in the NBA. You all outnumber anybody. The white people and the foreigners are by far the minorities in the league. I don't understand your point. I don't understand your issue, dude. You act like there's a problem. I'm tired of people pushing a narrative that just isn't there. It's not there. It's not there. Go. I'm about to show you this clip, and it's disturbing, man. Because whenever I saw the point where he was ranting and raving, and he dude brought up George Floyd, man. What the fuck, dude? What are you doing, Stephen A? Jesus, man. Yeah, bye, LeBron. Look, I'm a Lakers fan. I'm not a LeBron fan. I've been open in my channel, but I've openly also said he is one of the greatest of all time. I'll never be able to take that away from him. He has earned that on the basketball court. But personality-wise, and a lot of the shit he says, tweets out, I see two different people. I see a facade, a face that he puts out for the public to see, to put him on a pedestal. And then behind that mask of his, I see a greedy, self-centered, me, make an excuse type of guy. Point blank, to be honest. But here we go. I'm about to show y'all this rant. Hopefully y'all be able to hear it. I'll put the microphone up towards my TV here. This is highly uncalled for by Stephen A. Smith. And if I was, like I said, there are African Americans that are pissed about this, people. I just want to put that out there. There's a lot of African Americans that are pissed. Here we go.
This man said last name.
I'm going to turn on my TV here.
You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube.
This guy's about to show a clip here. I actually like this. You can follow them too. This is a channel I like to follow.
Black and White Sports fans. We got some news earlier today that Danny Ainge was going to be retiring as the president of basketball operations of the Boston Celtics, and that
let me know if y'all can hear my TV here.
Would be replacing Danny Ainge as the president of basketball operations. So the Celtics, they're going to need a new head coach because Brad Stevens will not be pulling double. However, when I found out about this, one thing that never went through my mind was race. Never came to my mind. I told Rhodes about it, and I'm pretty sure that Rhodes was not thinking about race as well. But however, somebody in the sports media, in the woke sports media, was extremely triggered because this is what this person does now. Everything is about race.
Completely agree.
And of course, you know, this person works for ESPN on Woke Take, aka First Take. And I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith was so triggered by Brad Stevens getting promoted to president of basketball operations that he blasted LeBron James and other NBA players, and he used the term woke. He crushed them, but not skipped.
I'm going to pause it right there. We're going to continue this in a second. Now, before we get to this video that he's about to show, I want to explain something. Brad Stevens has been there for like 8 years for the Boston Celtics. He has more than earned the right to move up there. I want to just simplify this good. Everybody works regular jobs, right? I would think so. In the real job world, we're not even talking about athletes, but in the real job world, people get moved up to manager positions through their job. They prefer to go inside their own companies first to their hardworking employees and let them move up rather than bringing somebody in from the outside. The first people that they look at are their own. So, like I said, I fully agree with everything he just said. Brad Stevens has a very, very good resume, not just in the NBA. Let's not forget about what he did in the NCAA with Butler University here in Indiana. Look, I live in Indiana, guys. It's a very, very, very small school. It is not a big school. It's not even on Indiana University's IU's level. Not remotely. Okay? What he did there was just amazing. And some of the players that have come out of there before he went to the Boston Celtics raved about what they turned him in, that coach turned them into as players. And I'm talking about Gordon Hayward-Bay. Is definitely the front runner. I mean, before he broke his leg tragically in that very first Boston Celtics game, he was a very good all-star player. Very good. Thought he should have never left the Jazz, but he was a very, very good player. I will be getting to the chat here soon. You can keep chatting. I will be getting to the chat soon. Like I said, this is something that's very serious and needs to be addressed. Do y'all realize that even in the real world, I've seen it too many times where I've had some of the last 2 jobs I had, all my bosses were African American. All my supervisors were African American. And you know what? It's because they earned their position, and the people that gave it to them didn't even look at their skin color, man. That's my point here. A lot of people in society don't even look at the skin color. It never comes to their mind. It just comes to, did you work your ass off for it or not? Did you cut any circles, yes or no? And I'm going to tell you what, Brad Stevens did not cut any circles, man. He built a good reform there with Boston. He's helped draft very well in Boston. Very, very well. Yes, they got rid of some of their talent here and there, but he's done a very good job to set the Celtics up to compete for titles. But here's the thing, the coach ain't on the court. The players have to finish the job, ultimately. And I'm sorry, he's built a pretty good he's built a good team. Every year he's been there, basically, he's built a good roster to compete for a championship. But it's up to the players and the leaders, the leaders on the court to take care of business. That's how basketball works. I played basketball. I played in high school and stuff. Even in the high school level, it's not all about the coach. It's the players are the ones that look. You can draw up all the plays you want as a coach, but it's up to the players to execute. Point blank and simple, everybody. He didn't get the job because he's white.
Watch
I mean,
your right, watch your right.
he didn't get the job because he's white.
They're just trying to bait us down.
I'm
That's why I didn't fucking-
tired of this narrative where every day in sports we talk race. And do you know what? All these sports, I bet all these owners and GMs and front offices are looking at this shit and listening to it, going, dude, do y'all realize we don't even look at that? When is enough enough? Like I said in my last video just this morning or yesterday, I didn't even see what Stephen A. Smith said yet because I don't even watch First Take. These two right here, this black and white sports show here. That's one of the YouTube channels I actually find out some news. That's one of the channels I use my research on because they're and I want y'all know there's obviously y'all can see an African American on this show here, this YouTube channel. Then there's a white guy, but they are very fair and they're very blunt. That's why I respect them because they are that, and I'm very blunt too. Now, Stephen A. is about to get mad because an African American did not get the substance job, and because Brad Stevens got moved up. What? That's not even the shocking part. It's the rant that he goes on. He literally walks off set, guys. He walks off set. That's how angry he gets. And yes, he even brings up George Floyd in his argument. Now, somebody tell me where George Floyd deserves to belong and Brad Stevens moving up. I'm waiting. Anybody can chime in on that. Anybody. Because it doesn't. Like I said yesterday in my video, yes, like I said, my backstory, I gave y'all my backstory. I grew up in the ghetto. I was raised in the ghetto. I know how it is. There are rough areas where police could do better. Around the world, not just in the United States, but there are areas in the United States. I want to clarify. There are areas where, yes, they could do better. But we also have to understand, we can't just paint a narrative of police, 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 and not be accountable for the criminals. Okay? And I know a lot of people that I grew up with even say the same thing. A lot of my friends honestly never even were scared of the police. They were always scared of the gangs, and they were scared of the neighborhood folks. Not at all the police. We're never scared of the police. They wouldn't really talk to them. Neither would I growing up. I wouldn't say shit because I knew my place too. It's in the neighborhoods I was in. But they weren't scared of them. There was too much murdering going around from the non-police. It's just we got to stop painting narratives. Like I said yesterday, do you know why this race war is becoming daily news on all kinds of platforms? And here's the sad truth. It's because it makes money. It sells. And that's the sad thing. Drama sells. If y'all watch TV, a lot of the top shows that gross in the most money are dramas. America loves drama. And that's the sad truth. When this Black Lives Matter movement should have been handled a whole lot better. And honestly, it should have been, it's being mistreated. I mean, there's things that I don't like that people don't even talk about. Do y'all know that the founder, the female lady, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, that she had no money really. The founder, but yet she spent millions of dollars on a house and land. Now, she ain't being talked about that. We know where that money's coming from, and it's from the movement. How is that right? Nobody's talking about that shit. There's things that, yes, is there areas where race needs to be handled? You're damn straight, man. There are areas in New York, in the rough city of New York, for sure. There are even areas, yes, in Louisville, where that shit needs to be handled and addressed. There's areas in definitely in LA. And trust me, that's one area where I said police could do better because ain't nobody trusting the LAPD, that's for damn sure. Just off of the 80s and 90s, I sure as hell wouldn't live there, even being white. Because I sure as hell wouldn't even trust their police department. Fuck them. They're crooked as fuck.
Why are you shooting me, motherfucker, down?
But also, I want to let y'all know there was a lot of crooked white cops, but there was also a lot of crooked African American cops there. And they got what they deserved. The ones that went to jail and prison, they earned that shit. You know, you do the crime, you pay the time, man. That's just all there is to it. Make society safer and better. You got to weed them all out. The thing that I'm trying to say is, I don't look at color at all. I look at people. Why can't motherfuckers just look at it that way? I hate even saying African American. No, I want to just say my fellow American. That's the fucking point here. But let's get on. Here we go.
Speaking up about Brad Stevens getting promoted and that a black man should have been interviewed for the position. Now, I don't know how he did it. Brad Stevens has been there for 8 years now. He's already in the Celtics family. So they just moved him up. I don't really see the big deal. I don't see the racism involved in this. But Stephen A. Smith, man, he's trying to take on Jamel Hill for being the most woke person in the woke sports media, even though he has a pretty woke person next to him on first take in Max Kellerman. So, guys, we got a couple of clips here that I'm going to play for you guys. And Stephen A. Smith was extremely triggered. He walked off the set of first take.
If y'all do, check these guys out, man. Go check them out.
In this video, guys. First, make sure you guys go to blackandwhitenetwork.com. Sign up and become a member. We have 2 different membership plans, the bronze and silver plan. We post private videos over there on the website just for the members. We actually put up one today that was actually going to be a black and white sports video. But YouTube actually demonetized it, so we put it up over there on the website. But if you guys don't want to sign up, just consider giving a one-time donation by clicking the donation tab or shopping for the merch. Use the discount code LaChina Sucks, S-U-X, all one word, and we're going to give you 15% off your purchase. So here we go, man. ESPN Stephen A. Smith walks off the set after blasting black NBA players for not speaking out against Brad Stevens' promotion by Celtics. And when we actually go to this clip here, he actually calls out LeBron James by name. LeBron James has nothing to do with the Celtics, but we know that LeBron James is the most super duper woke person in the NBA. He considers himself the leader of the NBA and the leader of the players. So he put him on blast. So there's a couple of clips here, man. We're going to look at Stephen A. Smith just completely lose it, guys. So here's the first clip right here.
Okay? And it wasn't just LeBron, it was Kawhi too. There's a plethora of guys. You got Sam Cassell. He's going to be a hell of a coach one day in the NBA if he gets that opportunity. Chauncey Billups. Everybody was talking about he had an opportunity to get an executive position. And then suddenly it dwindled. But Steve Nash, who we love and respect, great dude, got a black agent, one of the great ones, Mr. Bill Duffy. But Steve Nash never coached on any level.
Remember, before the season, he blasted the hiring of Steve Nash. Even though he says he loves him, but I digress.
And not only does he get the job, he gets the job with the full support of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, who, by the way, never insisted that a black candidate be interviewed and be put front and center, so we'll know who that individual is. We got Brad Stevens here. It's Boston. Tatum just started. Jaylen Brown just started. We understand what role that they play, particularly Jaylen Brown, in social justice issues. We're supposed to be woke. We're supposed to understand that that knee on George Floyd's neck wasn't just about violence and police brutality. It was also the figurative semblance that it provided, where you're feeling like constantly people have their knee on your neck.
George Floyd?
Yeah,
Really? George Floyd has nothing to do with this. You see the problem, man, with woke sports? This is what happens right here. They're gonna bring George Floyd into this just because Brad Stevens got promoted. And the players didn't say anything. But here's another part right here. This is where he walks off the set.
Hey, NBA players are some of the most powerful people in this world. When have they spoken up for black coaches? When? When have they spoken up for black executives, GMs, president of basketball operations? When has that happened? LeBron, all of them, everybody.
See name, LeBron by name.
Where the hell have they been? Nobody's done anything. And then when we the media, we bring it up, and you got white folks out here gonna sit up there and look at Stephen A. and say, "Oh, here he is bringing up race," and none of the black players speak up and say, "Yo, he got a point. Yo, he's right. Yo, there's something that needs to be done here." You don't want me to bring up the Rooney Rule and how it might be needed in basketball? Oh, I forgot. I can't do that. Why? Because the Rooney Rule ain't even working in the damn NFL. So when are we gonna say something about it? You know what? I'm gonna walk away. I'll be right back because I'm scared I'm gonna say something that might get me in trouble. Because I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
Yeah, Burke, you want to respond?
Yeah, there you have it, guys. One of the reasons why the Rooney Rule doesn't work is because race is the only reason why the Rooney Rule exists. Nobody wants to hire anybody based off race. I don't want a job based off of race. But guys like Stephen A., other people in the woke sports media, the only thing they see is race 24 hours a day. Maybe Stephen A. just did this because the ratings on First Take were in the trash. Now, First Take has been over for many hours right now. I just found out about this.
All right. So there's that clip. We'll let you all know the name of that channel. I'll put it in the message board. There you go. That's the name of that channel. That is my point exactly with what I found out just about 30 minutes before I started this to make this video or the live stream. I actually had two live streams going, but the first one didn't work because I didn't realize the internet got accidentally unplugged. But that's the issue with especially ESPN today. In case people don't notice, I want you all to hear a surprising fact here. Stephen A. Smith talks about race literally every day. At least 3 times a day, just on First Take. And I know a bunch of African Americans alone that even stopped watching ESPN because they are even they're tired of hearing about it. And just what that dude just said, and I want to make a note, people. This guy's African American. Okay? Jobs in the sports world ain't got shit to do about race, man. Go look up in the last, we can even go back to the last 30 years in the NBA. The percentage of African American players to white players. Go ahead. Tell me the NBA is racist. Please try to paint that narrative. We all know even I know, the best basketball players in the world are primarily African American. They're just more athletic than us white people. Much 99% of them are way more athletic. It's just a fact, people. And you know what? Do you hear us white folk complaining? Do y'all ever hear us complain whenever African American gets a head coaching job in the NBA or the NFL? No, we don't. Why? Because we understand, hey, A, they were a player before, and B, they know the game, obviously. We ain't worried about everybody. Let's just take a step back. Yes, was the George Floyd incident highly inappropriate? I'm a former Marine, guys. I was in the military, and let me tell you, whenever I saw the video of what the police officer did and the other police officers that stood there idly by, I'm just saying, as a white person, I was grossly disturbed. I wanted to vomit. And honestly, I wanted to beat all their asses. Beat their asses. Because, oh, you're welcome, bud. Yeah. No problem, man. No problem. But I know my training. And here's the thing. Whenever I was in the Marine Corps, we trained police officers. We trained police academies and stuff like that and taught them military techniques. We taught them how to disarm suspects. We taught them how to take suspects down, detain suspects. I want people to understand this. That's why I say, yes, police could be fixed because they are getting top of the line training here in America. I just want that to be known. They are fucking getting legit training. They're getting trained by fucking Marines and the Army. They're getting trained by military people. So they know some fucking shit. And one of the first techniques you're ever taught, especially on a takedown of a suspect, I can easily disarm somebody with a rifle. If you're at close range and you pull that thing out on me, A, you're not even going to hit me. You're probably not even going to get a shot off. But you and your gun will end up on the ground in a takedown. And it's easy because I'm going to be using your rifle as against your momentum during that takedown. And at the same time that I'm taking you down with it, I'm also disarming you of it at the same time. All that officer had to do, and I'm speaking on why the George Floyd incident was wrong by the police there. When you take them down, all you have to do is put your knee in the middle of the shoulder blades, and you control that dude's body. Doesn't have to be anywhere on the neck or the head. We never taught people to put anything remotely on their head or neck area whatsoever. In between the shoulder blades, you own them. You own them. They're not going any fucking where. I don't care how hard they struggle. I don't care if you're smaller than this person. They're locked in. They are done for. They are neutralized. But for Stephen A. to even bring up, what the fuck does George Floyd have to do with any sports? What does he have to do with Brad Stevens moving up with the fucking Boston Celtics? What the fuck? That is what's wrong with these fucking sports shows today. And all these media outlets, people. It's not just ESPN. I'm not going to let them off the hook. Undisputed does the same shit. I love Skip Bayless, but even sometimes I don't like what comes out of his fucking mouth. And I definitely do like Shannon Sharp, guys. I love Shannon Sharp. But there are comments. Well, also, I don't like that he likes LeBron so much. But I digress on that. But even he gets on it sometimes, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? Race, there's no issue with race in sports. I'm going to say this one last time. There is no race war in sports. I would be putting all these, especially on these sports outlets, I would be having a conversation with them because let's not forget people. How many people's been fired on radio shows? And I'm just being fair here. I got to be fair. Fair is fair. Like I said, I don't look at color on any fucking body. What's his name? Fox something. He's a African American analyst on ESPN as well. I think he played for like the fucking sad Detroit Lions in the NFL. No offense, but we all know Detroit Lions front office sucks. They've had some great players, but their front office does not know what the fuck they're doing. But I remember months ago, he said he made fun of the Buffalo Bills quarterback. He made that comment that only his fans only like him because he was basically white and he loved dogs and the American flag. Y'all remember that? That he said it in such a racial way. Did he lose his job or get suspended? No. Did he? Nothing happened to him. But yet, on radio shows or anything, if a white guy says anything remotely close to that, they're immediately fired. Look, fair is fair. I would be talking to Stephen A. That's just all. That's what I gotta say. If I was the president of ESPN, I'd be pulling him in my office. Thank you. That's my point. Like Invasion said, it works both ways with race. It's not it's my way and fuck the rest of the world. No, it's got to be worked both ways. You know, I personally, like I said, where I grew up, there was an incident. I was a freshman, 9th grade. The school I went to, Eric Hoyce High School in Louisville, you can look it up. It's predominantly over 90% African American school, and it's cool. I don't care. But I was in the classroom where I was one of 3 white people out of like 40 people in the classroom. And for some odd fucking dumb reason, this one kid, I don't remember his name, because after we came back from suspension, the very first time back from suspension to back to school, I beat his ass. I searched him out, sought him out, and whooped his ass. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. But he blurs out the N-word in an argument with somebody in the classroom. And not just him, but because I was in that classroom, I didn't say shit. I wasn't even involved in what happened. I got jumped as well and got my ass whooped. So you damn straight, whenever everything got worked out with the school and then I came back, I sought him out and I whooped his ass. And I took a week of in-school suspension, and I told my dad exactly before I even did it. And my dad said there was going to be no punishment. He was going to turn the other cheek, basically, on that situation. He knew before I even went back to school what my plan was. And my dad did not give a shit, because my dad is a very fair person. My dad is one of the people that raised me saying, you don't start nothing, but you better damn well finish it. Don't start shit, but you better finish it. So my dad let me finish it. But Stephen A. Smith, if he keeps this up, which is an everyday thing, people, seriously, it's an everyday thing, I would fire him. And it ain't got nothing to do with his race. It has everything to do with what the ignorance and the dumb shit that comes out of his mouth. And because people like him, being on a platform where millions and millions of people are seeing you, you're putting a narrative out there in the world maybe to start more shit. We all know that a lot of people do dumb shit just by watching people off TV. There's a lot of ignorant motherfuckers out there. Let's just be real here. There's a lot of ignorant motherfuckers. You're going to have ignorant people every fucking where you go. You just have to learn how to deal with them and tune them out. You're going to have racism everywhere you go. What do? You find a way to tune it out the best that you can, and you just fucking distance yourself from those stupid motherfuckers. That's what the fuck I did. That's like, get the fuck away from me, man. That's how I'd react. If I knew they were racist, like, just get the fuck away. I ain't got nothing to say to you. They have their own beliefs, and they're entitled to their opinion. I'll leave them alone because they are their own person. But my view, yeah, I think you're wrong, but it's not my place to fucking change your mind. But I have the right to also say, back the fuck up. I don't want nothing to do with you. That's just my stance on that. But that right there, I could not believe when I woke up. That's the shit that was on TV yesterday. Wow. I'm being blunt here. Stephen A., I would suspend you right now, and I would talk to you, and I would give you another chance to calm down off this race shit. Because I'm going to say it, and I mean all due respect, and I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but Stephen A., you come across as a race-baiting bigot. You're trying to start a race war to me. And I've never, ever really heard you or applaud you to white guys really that much. You haven't done it in a very long time. I've stopped watching you for the last 5 years. You were not like this. Because I used to love it. With him and Skip, First Take was the shit. I ain't gonna lie. I loved ESPN First Take. With Stephen A. and Skip Bayless. That was the shit. Since he left, he has turned into this, people. Stephen A. has turned into this. Since Skip left. What the fuck? And you got these athletes out here involved in this shit. I mean, like I said, there's a reason why I don't like LeBron. His agent, everybody knows him. I don't even have to say him, but LeBron's agent and his BFF said that white players don't want to. He doesn't want to sign white players, or painted a narrative basically because he's a black agent that he doesn't really want to sign white players, or white players don't want to sign with him because he's black. Again, what the fuck? What the fuck does race have to do with you being their agent? Everybody knows that athletes pick the agent that best suits what they're wanting career-wise and for their family and all that shit. To me personally, Rich Bull, LeBron's BFF, you're a fucking racist. That in itself, your comment that you just sounded fucking completely racist, 1,000%. And then LeBron saying, I'm scared to leave my house. Really? No. I want everybody to understand. LeBron did not grow up in the ghetto. He had a great upbringing. And he paints the narrative as if he grew up in a rough area. Bullshit, he did. Bullshit. Come on, complete bullshit. And dude, millions of people follow you like you're a god, a sports god, LeBron. And just to let y'all know, there's a whole bunch of millions of white people that love you. Millions of black people that honestly should love you. You are a great NBA player. You deserve the fans that you have. But to say that you're scared, bro, shut the fuck up. People are trying to also get involved in the Black Lives Matter movement to try to profit off of it. And I think LeBron is one of them, and his agent's one of them. And that's what I'm saying. I think it's wrong. This Black Lives Matter movement should be primarily in the bad areas like LA, like the ones I talked about, the bad areas of New York, the bad areas where policing has had major issues. And you could tell there is probably a racial thing going on in some parts of Louisville, Kentucky. That's where this shit needs to be primarily taking to. Because those are the policing areas you want to try to fix. Instead, it's not. It's going a whole different route. My problem is not the Black Lives Matter movement. It's how it's being handled. Take it to those areas, please. Help them get better. Yes, let's hire some African American police chiefs in these areas. Get a voice out there for the African American community in these very god-awful bad communities, especially in LAPD. Let's get more African Americans in there and try to fix the policing from inside out, and with the neighborhoods. Why don't we? Let's get on that. Let's do that instead of attacking it in sports. The fuck, man. So I'm gonna be getting into some more sports talk here. The final, yes, the Lakers did lose the series 4-2. In Game 6, the Suns 113-100. Yeah, Booker almost drops 50 points, guys. He almost drops to 50. So that's all there is. I said, and people, I'm a Lakers fan, but I always grew up a Kobe fan, to be honest. Not a LeBron fan, but a Kobe guy, and definitely love Shaq, man. I love Shaq, dude. He was awesome too. But dude, it's okay that we lost the series. Better luck next year. Yes. Did LeBron get hurt? Yes. Did he have to take what seemed like a fucking half year to come back from an ankle? No. Did he need 8 fucking weeks? No, he didn't. Could they have got a better higher seed if LeBron just would have came back on time like he should have? Yes, they could have. But it happens. Hello, it's sports. Sometimes the best teams don't win the chip because their key players get injured at inopportune times. And like I said, I said the Lakers would not come out of the West. Also, yes, I saw your just replied there, Evasure. Thanks for coming. You definitely were active in the chat. I appreciate that. I did try to chat while I was talking. Try to get as much in there as I could. But thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed I'm glad you enjoyed it so far. Please welcome back. Please check out the. Like I said, I've been streaming for a little bit over 3 months now. It's my first time doing it, but I have a lot of other videos. You can go check them out, man. Thank you very much. Thank you for the compliments. But what I'm trying to say is here, whenever you're injured late in the season, that's where your run stops. Okay? If you don't have a healthy AD, the Lakers weren't going nowhere. And AD has not been healthy for over 2 months now. I mean, even before the playoffs started, I saw like 2 other injuries whenever he came back in like 2 games. He had different areas that were getting hurt. I was like, stop. I didn't even want him to play in the series at all. Everybody knows AD has been highly prone. Go back to his injury history at the Pelicans. This dude gets hurt. Big men get hurt in the NBA. Whenever they do, you got to be severely gentle with it, or else you're going to have happen what happened to Yao Ming's career. If you keep pushing it and pushing it, that big man will literally have to retire because their body can't take it because of their height and all that other stuff. We should have just shut AD down. Instead, you have about what looked like 10 extra injuries to AD. When he could have just had the one and we could have just waited for it to heal. It's okay. The Suns were a better team at the moment that they played. And the key word here, they were healthier. They were going to win because they were a healthier team. And look, I'm going to give LeBron a little bit of an out here. I'm going to be fair. It's not like LeBron's young, people. The last 2 games, he ain't played all that well, in my opinion. He ain't played like normal LeBron. Hello, look at his age. He's getting up there in age. Not every single great player can play late into their careers like Tom Brady. It doesn't work that way. Especially with a body like LeBron's. The older you get, having all the muscles weigh your body down. Especially whenever you have lower extremity injuries, all that muscle mass you have up top to your old body is going down and weighing on it, and you're putting a lot of extra pressure on your lower body. And at a older age, that does not bode well. In a majority of cases, it does not bode well. And honestly, the last 2 or 3 games, I saw Father Time creeping in on LeBron. I'm not saying his career is over, guys. I'm just saying he's not going to be this 30, 10, 10, 10 triple guy probably here soon. But he is still going to be a top 5 player in the NBA. I'm not saying that he's going to be complete dog crap, okay? Not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying he might be getting to the last 3-4 years of his career as being the best in the NBA, player-wise. It's okay. Not the end of the world. Eventually, you got to pass the mantle. At some point, here soon, LeBron's going to be passing the mantle. In just my opinion, a healthy KD is better than LeBron, in my opinion. I just like AD more. Or not AD, but KD. Kevin Durant. Yeah, whenever KD's healthy, he's whoa. I ain't ever seen a 7-footer shoot like Jesus, dude. That's why I said my pick was the Nets. What are all those rewards and plaques on your back wall? You got the Jordan free throw autographed. Over to the left in the frame also is his coveted Flair card autographed. Too Tall Jones autographed, Dallas Cowboys, because that's my NFL team. Also with the PSA. That also has the 2 just on the back. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff back here. I got an autographed Tony Romo jersey up top. I'll move that up. Yep, Romo. I got a bunch of stuff that I'm still trying to find because we moved here into this house months ago. Still a lot of other stuff. Trust me, this wall is going to be full. Got a lot of autographs and stuff like that. It's just sports memorabilia. You got Kobe and Gigi, Mamba, snakeskin jersey. Because like I said, I've always been a Kobe fan. And then right here is Kobe's award-winning Dear Basketball poem picture right here in the frame. So yes, that's some of the stuff that I have. Oh, thank you very much, America. Macabre. Hopefully I said that right. Thank you very much. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, I've always been. I do like sports knowledge. I like to look up other YouTubers as well. Like I'm a fan of several other YouTubers. I used to be into Pat McAfee show until him and a certain somebody tried to get me banned from Twitter. But I try to study because I'm addicted to sports. Like, I'll be honest. My wife hates it. She's like, keep sports away from me, go in another room. But I love sports. It works for me. And you're welcome to check out my channel. I have like all kinds of top 10 lists, top 15 of all time lists. I got a lot of different lists and a lot of different sports. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Just understand that I'm a very this show, my channel. I'm very blunt. I don't BS. I don't sugarcoat. I just speak straight from the heart. So as long as you're okay with that, you'll like this channel. Definitely, I tell you what. There's one thing I have been searching for weeks, man. I've been trying to find my Bobby Knight because I'm an IU fan. I live in Indiana, from Indiana. But my frame picture of Bobby Knight, I cannot find for the life of me. That's one thing that has really been irking me on my sports stuff. I also have this other Cowboys picture thing that I need to get framed. I got the envelope next to me, but I got to get a frame because it's like an actual, like, it's a painting picture, and it was done by an artist, a rare and upper quality. But yeah, there's some stuff that I still got to get up on this wall. But again, I think the main sport that definitely needs to straighten up, since everything I've been talking about on this episode today, the NBA needs to wake the fuck up. I don't like how they are. I don't like the way they're doing things in a lot of ways. And I think it's hurting society and hurting the communities that they live in. And I think it needs to be handled and addressed a lot better, especially if you're going to be a part of a movement outside of your teams and organization and on the basketball court. I think they could do a lot better, and I think they can go a different route. That's just my opinion. Everybody on my stream and in my channel, you are entitled to your own opinions. I will never take that away. But that's just from my standpoint. Now, other news. Julio Jones. I want to get back talking about them today. If y'all saw yesterday, I made a video of teams that I think he's going to go to. I think I put 7 or 8 teams. Some people have put on their channels, we noted down to 20 teams that he's going to go to. Fuck that. The fuck wants to hear 20 teams? Everybody knows 31 other teams are interested in Julio. But 31 other teams don't have the salary cap or other things to pull it off. Or draft picks. Let's be reasonable here. You gotta look at teams that salary cap wise can bring them in, and also have trade capital. I think the Tennessee Titans, to me, are at the top because if you add Julio to that offense and you work out they didn't get rid of all kinds of draft picks like the 49ers did. Although, don't get me wrong, I do have the 49ers in the top 5. Like I said, I have 7 or 8 teams. I have them at number 5, I think, of destinations he can go to. Because don't you think that Julio would not love to get paired again with Shanahan? Because I'm telling you, whenever Shanahan was in Atlanta, he had some of his best offensive years as a receiver. And they did go to a Super Bowl. And yes, they had the worst Super Bowl. They let the biggest Super Bowl comeback happen to them. Oh boy. But I digress on that.
I also threw out a corkscrew in the mix of my 18, and I'm still sticking by it. And now that I've thought about it for a day, I'm going to put this at number 3 of where Julio should go and number 3 of the 8. Now, number 3, follow me here. Cleveland Browns have said there's been a narrative for the last 2 or 3 years that OBJ and Baker Mayfield just don't mesh. The QB to receiver combo, they just don't mesh well. They're not on the same page. And whenever Baker Mayfield does force the ball to OBJ when he's on the field, that is whenever Cleveland is at his worst offensively. That is proven. I don't know why. It should not be the case, but it just is. Sometimes they're just not. There's just not chemistry there. It's just not there. And why not call Atlanta? And I'm like I said, I'm moving this one all the way up to number 3 for a trade spot. Cleveland, call Atlanta and be like, look, OBJ is healthy. We might even be able to give you a pick or 2. We will swap OBJ for Julio. Guess what? Salary cap-wise, that also frees up Julio to come. Guess what? I think Julio, Jarvis Landry, and the rest of that offense and Baker Mayfield will have no problems being on the same page. And also, guess what? Julio doesn't bring drama. Julio has never been about drama. So that's another good point. And honestly, if this trade did happen, I would immediately lock in Cleveland if they could stay healthy. In all sports, this is a key word, people. If they could stay healthy at the key positions, Cleveland would for sure be at least a 3 seed in the AFC, and they would for sure handily win their division. They would win it over Pittsburgh. They would win it over Baltimore. Because with that offensive defense and with Julio, that Baker Mayfield would have no reason to have a bad year. None. And to be honest, that would be a very, very smart, high IQ trade. Now, other teams, I think the number 2 team that I think could make a run at them, and I need to explain this in detail. A lot has to work for this number 2 team because it would make a lot of sense. You drafted a young quarterback, and yes, as sadly as it is, the writing's been on the wall since last year, especially after last year. I think Cam Newton probably day one will not be the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots. You just can't have a 9-touchdown passing season in today's NFL. That's just atrocious. I know. But also when I watch Cam Newton physically, all of his injuries with the Panthers, as sad as it is, and I hate to see it, his body is just giving up on him. Physically, he can't do nowhere near as what he was able to do since his MVP season. And his passing is just not there anymore. It's just not. So maybe it's time to see what you got in Mac Jones. And you trade for Julio and add him to that Patriots receiving corps. But here's the thing, and this is what I said. That would be the second best spot, in my opinion. The third would be, Cleveland, because I do like that trade. And then 4, I would definitely put the Detroit Lions because you lost Galladay. I mean, you got to make up for Galladay because you just made a big trade this offseason And for some reason, you brought in Jared Goff, who is definitely a downgrade from Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, if he was not on the Detroit Lions for his entire career, would have had godly numbers. He is an amazing pat. He is one of, I'm telling you, if Matthew Stafford did not play for the Lions, he'd have a Hall of Fame caliber career. Flat out. That dude is a stud at quarterback. People underestimate because he played in Detroit. And I think you're about to see a wholly different Matthew Stafford in LA. I think he is going to light it up. You watch. I mean, if he can get the playbook down before the season starts, he's going to light it up. But here's the thing with the Patriots getting Julio. We know that Belichick is – his way of dealing is whatever I offer you, it's take it or leave it. It's not this or that. I don't see that happening, and I don't think that Atlanta's going to get better offers than the Patriots, basically. So I don't think he'll end up there. But also, Julio Jones, what about the Jets and the Jaguars? They both need some offensive weapons, and you definitely want to set up your young quarterback and your coaches to succeed. Bring in a great star, the best at his position, top 3 for sure, and have that veteran leadership also, because it's not just that he's a top 3 receiver while you're trading for him. You're also bringing his leadership too into that locker room, veteran leadership, and Julio fills out both boxes. So yeah. Now, I want to get into Denver also takes care of the Blazers. And like I said, to me, Nikola Jokic is the MVP this season. If he does not win MVP, then that's flat out solidifies why I do not watch the NBA nowhere near as much as I used to. And that there's a major problem with the league. Major. And what he's been able to do especially after his number 2 best player on that team and a very good all-star caliber player in Murray went down for the season. It's nothing short of spectacular to keep that team afloat and to keep them afloat the way he kept them afloat. I mean, we saw what happened to the Lakers whenever their players went down. They folded like a lawn chair. They went from the 2 seed to garbage. But Denver wins that series in a 126-115 win over the Portland Trail Blazers. I do feel sorry for Dame Lillard in Game 5. Man, they could have pulled this out. This could have been a 7-game series, but it's over in 6. It's sad to see, honestly. Definitely not against him. I just don't. Like I said, I'm not shocked the Lakers are gone, people. It's not the end of the world. They shouldn't have won this series to begin with. Better luck next year. But I think we need to bring in, if I was them, look, Dennis Schroeder's not the answer, but I would look into maybe trying to find a way if I was the Lakers maybe there's a way you can get Bradley Beal. I even called it before the season started. Try to find a way to get Bradley Beal. So, yeah. We don't need a big man like Marc Gasol. Dude. You got Andre Drummond, try to find a way to keep Drummond. Get rid of Marc Gasol. He needs to retire. He's done. Washed up. It's okay. He's an old guy. It happens. And he's a big old guy. It happens. So I hope that y'all enjoy. I hope y'all learned some things today. Also, if you could, you are welcome to follow me. Please hit the like button. Also, please subscribe to my channel, please. It helps me out because I do have a goal over the next couple of years being a full-time YouTuber and also being a full-time gamer because that's just what I like to do, and it takes my mind off of a lot of stuff that's going on in my life. But hopefully you all liked a little bit of the education that I brought up. I know that you may not agree with everything I've said, and that's okay. I let people speak their mind on my channel. I let them speak their mind in my chat. I don't care. I'm not one to try to take people's voices away. You can also, if you like gaming, I am very competitive, I do warn, but I am a streamer. I'm about a month in as a streamer on Twitch. The name of my stream there, you can follow me on Twitch, is Rocky Sports Talk Sheet, all one word. You can catch me on Twitter at Rocky Sports, ROCKEY Sports. And obviously this YouTube channel. So thank you all. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope to catch y'all out there. Thanks, everybody. Peace out to the next episode.